Good evening, FWE Universe. I can't tell you what a whirlwind it's already been for me here as the new FWE commissioner, but I've been loving the challenge, and I'm growing more and more excited as we begin to see the FWE Fallout card begin to take shape. Now, before we begin tonight's episode, there's a few things I need to take care of first. First off, I was previously warned by my predecessor that the faction known as the Family, specifically the leader, Michael Norman, are in the habit of making demands, and, well, you guessed it, he's brought one to me. You see, according to him, if it weren't for the betrayer, Cole Eastwood, eliminating both Michael and Matt McIntyre from the #1 contenders match last week, the Family would be fighting for the titles at FWE Fallout instead of the Mario Brothers. It would obviously appear to me that this business between what remains of the Family and the new Rockers duo is still far from over. And so I have given into this demand only in the spirit of it being best for business. So at FWE Fallout, we will have a tag team match with Michael Norman and Matt McIntyre taking on Anthony McCreary and Cole Eastwood, and they can air out all their grievances and personal animosity in a backstage brawl. And we will also see one individual from each group in action tonight, as we will finally get the one-on-one matchup between Cole Eastwood and Michael Norman that we thought we were going to get prior to Paramount. Okay, what did I want to address next? Yes. So last week, we saw Wonder Woman become a two-time women's hardcore champion. Congratulations to her, well-deserved, but it now makes things interesting because not only would Jessica Shelton have a case for a title rematch, but so too does Harley Quinn after she lost the title at FWE Paramount. Okay, that being said, I've decided that at Fallout, all three women will be in a triple threat match for the FWE Women's Rotten to the Hardcore Championship. And you know what? How about tonight we see Wonder Woman take on Harley Quinn, and how about Jessica Shelton be the special guest referee? This is good. Right, next issue to address. After giving it some thought, I originally stated that the match to determine the first ever Cozy Cone Women's Cruiserweight Champion would be contested in a ladder match. Unfortunately, it appears the logistics of that are not quite going to meet up to expectations. So instead, we're going to swap that to a fatal four-way steel cage match. I feel that despite this change, that match is going to be really, really good. Okay, looks like that's everything on my list. Sweet. Thanks for allotting me this time to get some things squared away, and enjoy tonight's episode of FWE.
The air, gold bells shining, they all dare. Tougher, fists held high. Warriors fight till the night says die. FWE, where battles divine. Every broken bone, all by design. Chained to the thrill, they let it be. This ain't a game, it's FWE. FWE, where battles define. Every broken bone, all by design. Chained to the thrill, they let it be. This ain't a game, it's FWE.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside the FWE Fantasy Dome as we are a mere 2 weeks away from Fallout. I'm Seth Cole alongside my broadcast colleague, the Triwizard Champion Jack Mitchell. And Jack, as we gear up for tonight's episode, a lot to unpack, the laundry list of announcements that our FWE Commissioner Woody just hit us with.
Absolutely, a whole lot going on as we get closer and closer to our first PLE after Paramount. I'm really looking forward to seeing where things go from here.
The following contest is scheduled for making her way to the ring from Uganda, Black Archer.
We continue on to figure out who are going to be the 4 women that will battle to be the inaugural Cozy Cone Cruiserweight Champion on the women's side. We just heard moments ago that bout will be inside of a steel cage at Fallout. 2 women have advanced, 2 women still to be determined. The third of our 4 qualifying matchups coming up here in our opener.
Be pretty exciting to see Shuri in action here in this tournament. She put up a good fight against Elizabeth Swan while she was defending that Women's World Championship of the Galaxy back at Infinity War Games. So another shot at singles gold here.
Representing the tough guys from the internet, Helen
For Elastigirl, better known as Helen Parr. Opportunity for her as well to claim singles gold. Both Shuri and Elastigirl, they've been in conversations. Matter of fact, to your point, I believe we saw Elastigirl try and get into #1 contendership for the Women's World Championship quite a while back in an eliminator match against then champion Elizabeth Swan. An opportunity here for FWE Gold as Paramount's in the rearview mirror. We're kind of looking towards Combat Evolve. A lot of other PLEs coming up here as well in the next few months, and everybody wants a shot at one of these titles here. Multiple titles up for grabs here, it seems, on both the men's and the women's side.
Definitely. Anything you can do to get in the title picture, get on the card for those big PLEs coming up. That's a huge kick to get things started tonight.
It's a statement maker there. That heel kick, standing Spanish fly here. Shuri coming out swinging. We already know that Ellie and Susan Storm have advanced in their qualifying matchups. Tonight we determine the 3rd participant, and then this Saturday night on FWE Extra, we're going to have our final matchup as Kim Possible going to be taking on Jasmine.
A few seconds ago, both of these competitors went for springboard moves at the same time, but neither one connected.
We talk a lot of times about matchups where the styles of wrestling kind of clash. In this matchup, certainly you'd have to think that both Elastigirl and Shuri, very similar styles here. You see, not afraid to go to the top rope. Flying forearm connects there for Elastigirl, and that's a big reason why a lot of these women, all 8 of these participants in these qualifying matchups were chosen. They bring about that high-flying cruiser style.
Absolutely. That's why they're fighting for that Cruiserweight Championship. It's a perfect opportunity to highlight some of the high flyers in the women's division.
Speaking of that women's division, tonight our main event, we heard our FW Commissioner Woody announce we're going to be seeing Harley Quinn taking on Wonder Woman, and the former hardcore champion Jessica Shelton going to be the special guest referee. All 3 of those women are going to be fighting for the hardcore title at Fallout. One would have to wonder if Jessica Shelton, who just last week lost the hardcore title of Wonder Woman, is going to be able to remain impartial in that matchup.
I have a feeling that, with it already being a hardcore match, with the special guest referee stipulation as well, I mean, I'm not even sure if she's going to call it down the middle.
Action here to the outside. See referee Ernest Wright administering the 10 count here. Count out, disqualification. You would still advance in the tournament here, so both Shuri and Elastigirl have to be aware of the referee's count. It looks like we're not going to get to that 10 count here, as both individuals will make their way back into the ring.
Gotta cover.
Big knee in the gut. Is that going to be enough to put Shuri away? Only a 1 count there for Elastigirl. Oh, nice backstabber.
That came out of nowhere. Shuri quickly back to her feet, though, and the springboard will knock her back down again. Elastigirl in control. Oh, I wasn't sure about going for the cover there. I could kind of tell her feet were under the ropes.
Yeah, it looked like even that leg that she hooked was underneath the rope there. Could be a costly mistake that'll come back to haunt Elastigirl here, but still remains on the offense for the time being.
Back up to the top rope. Knee connects.
Yeah, right across the forehead, I believe. May have been lower, down around the sternum region. And now looking for a flatliner, maybe into a code of silence. Elastigirl very well known for her flexibility and showing it off here. Submission locked in, makes it difficult to breathe. Wrenches on that neck region there of Shuri.
Really just barely able to work her way out of that submission hold. Now rolls to the ringside.
Look
Elastigirl
out!
gonna fly. Elastigirl just like that, right back on the offensive in this matchup.
Saw that flurry of offense in the early going from Shuri, but Elastigirl has been firmly in control here for the last couple of minutes. Shuri, I think, rolled to the outside, maybe get a little bit of a break. Not allowed to breathe here as Elastigirl meets her on the outside. Again, referee begins the 10 count here. Shuri deposited back inside of the ring, and Shuri's got to find something here because it's been all Elastigirl, who's now going to hit the double stomp to the gut from the top rope.
That could be it.
That could indeed. Almost a modified coup de grace to advance in the tournament, and Shuri kicks out at 2.
Really, Shuri still has enough life left in her, but for how much longer? As there's the middle rope moonsault back into the cover. Ernest Wright taking a little bit of time. Quick kick out. I think Ernest Wright just took a little bit too long there, trying to check if both shoulders were down.
Elastigirl setting up for something else here. Went for the spin kick, a nice avoidance, sidestepped it, did Shuri. Shuri now has Elastigirl up, might be going for that press slam, but goes behind with the chop block, does Elastigirl.
Oh, another springboard attack connects. That was a drop kick of some sort.
And now just those high heel boots to the side of the head of Shuri. Hoisting her up. Whoa, hold on. Go behind neck breaker. That could be the opening that Shuri needs.
Shuri's really been starting to find a little bit of life in this matchup ever since she dodged that kick.
Like a cutter right there. Almost maybe a rack attack of some kind. And almost got the 3 count, but just out at 2.9 was Elastigirl.
I feel like that would have been a little bit surprising if Elastigirl went down there, but now she's in trouble.
Backstabber. Is that gonna do it? I thought the legs might be close to the ropes here. And Shuri's going to advance off the backstabber.
Here is your winner, Black Archer.
For the most part, that matchup was all Elastigirl, but it took one window of opportunity. Shuri capitalizes on it, and she's now going to be the 3rd member to participate in that steel cage match at Fallout for the Cozy Cone Cruiserweight Championship.
Fantastic showing out of both of these competitors, but Shuri on the victorious end of it. Hades takes on Aladdin and a mysterious competitor in a handicap match coming up next on FWE.
Fall out in the air, breathing poison everywhere. Fall out, can't escape. We built the fire, now feel its weight.
Come on, ladies, sing along with Hades. Let me show you.
Well, as we get ready here to continue on tonight's episode of FWE, we continue on a rivalry that's gone all the way back to even before Paramount.
The following contest is a handicap match. Introducing first, representing the Disciples of Darkness from the pits of hell, weighing in at 220 pounds, the Warden.
Oh, you'll remember, Jack, that qualifying matchup we had, that fatal 4-way to determine one of the competitors for the Intercontinental Championship at Paramount. Saw Hades deliver 4 Tombstone pile drivers to Aladdin on the outside. Aladdin looked for a little retribution after Paramount was in the books, was unsuccessful. But here tonight, Hades going to have to take on Aladdin and a mystery partner 2-on-1 handicap match.
That'll be a little bit interesting. I think if you're Hades, you kind of almost have to have triple threat mentality where you have to focus on 2 competitors at the same time instead of just one. So you have to keep your head on a swivel, stay a little bit more locked in. Definitely going to be tricky, but Hades is a large man, so I'm sure he's not worried about it at all, especially considering every match he's had with Aladdin as of late, he's delivered that tombstone pile driver.
Gotta think that he's got that in the back of his mind, would love to deliver another one here tonight. I've actually been kind of surprised. You gotta admire the guts of Aladdin, but there's a thing called going to the well once too often, and I don't know, this might be a rivalry that Aladdin might want to leave in the rearview mirror, but here tonight he'll at least have some backup. Aladdin sporting the neck brace here to support the head and neck region. That obviously the result of those multiple tombstone pile drivers that he suffered. And while I understand the fact that you want to make sure you have that protection, I feel that's just a bullseye that Hades is going to zone in on in this matchup.
Yeah, he might target it a little bit too many times here.
Well, hang on a second here. We didn't know who the partner was going to be, but this is interesting. You want to talk about someone that's got some history with Hades?
Yeah, I could not think of a more fitting partner for Aladdin here. It's a fantastic
Wonder Boy,
decision.
Hercules, man, oh man, okay.
So we've got kind of a rivalry within a rivalry, if you will, because you know, we talked about the history between Hades and Aladdin, but the history between Hades and Hercules, that goes way further back.
And you know, let's call a spade a spade. When you've got Hades versus Aladdin, the strength and power game obviously goes to Hades. Now that cancels out. Now Hades does not have the power advantage any longer when you've got the ripped Hercules on the other side of the ring.
Definitely. So you're gonna have two different types of fighting styles within this little team as well, because you've got the large strength, the power of Hercules, but then Aladdin's more of a cruiserweight type wrestler. He's more high flying.
On Aladdin and Hercules side, they will have to tag each other in. So Hades will only have to focus on one person at one time, but they can continually tag each other in and remain fresh. Hades got nobody in his corner to tag. Surprising Aladdin choosing to start this matchup out. If I were Aladdin, I would have let Hercules kind of do the heavy lifting in the early going.
Yeah, I do feel like that's a bit bold, but you see Hercules already trying to get in the head of his competitor. There you go, targeting the head and neck area.
And I think at this point, if you're Hades, knowing you're in a 2-on-1 disadvantage, you've got to lay the power down early and often. You cannot leave an opening for Aladdin or Hercules to capitalize, because in terms of endurance, you're going to be at a deficit here.
Aladdin is down, and Hades taking some time to focus on Hercules, dropping his back into the ring apron.
Not sure what Aladdin might have been going for a drop kick there, but I almost wonder if the neck injury, he couldn't get the full extension that he wanted to.
Look at this, just taunting him.
And if you're Aladdin, one thing you do not want to do in this matchup, do not allow Hades to bring it to the outside, because we've seen what happens when the outside advantage is there. That tombstone pile driver certainly has to be lying in wait.
I'm sure that's in the back of both of their minds.
Oh no, I don't think you want to be out there, Aladdin.
This is going to be dangerous on its own. Oh, Hades not going to go for the jump. Instead, again, going to focus on Hercules.
Just trying to take that power game out of the conversation as Hades another back body drop, and now Aladdin coming around to take advantage, hits him with the Hurricane Rana.
Good wrestling there by Aladdin, making sure that he gets the first look of offense in. But now...
Oh gosh. Power slam down onto the floor here.
Oh, I'm gonna mercifully toss him back into the ring.
Now going after Hercules, and Hercules into the steel ring post.
I feel like Hades might have heard what you said about the ringside.
Oh,
Actually,
gosh,
he
hello.
was sitting right into our announce table. Hi, Hercules.
Shoulder tackle takes down Aladdin. Looking to end this one quickly is Hades, and Aladdin will slip out at 1, but for being in a 2-on-1 deficit, Hades has had a plan coming in, completely take Hercules out of the conversation.
So far, he's been dominating in the size discrepancy matchup here.
Aladdin looking maybe for that leg drop. He gets it.
Will certainly help Aladdin's cause here. I mean, you know, I always talk about this when we have the size disparity. Just because you're the smaller man doesn't mean you can't win the match. You can outmaneuver, outthink your opponent. There's a tag.
Hercules is legal. Little double team here as Hades double back body drop, and now Hercules, who's been run into a ring post, into our announce table, back body dropped a couple of times. Now he gets to tee off on Hades.
And now I fear for the integrity of our ring. These are two very large men.
Well, that discus forearm, I think, may have actually just opened up Hades. It's not the first time Hades has been busted open quite a lot here. It might be that same wound, actually. It's not had a whole lot of time to be able to heal. Hades has been in action quite a bit here the last couple of months.
I mean, that happened while he was at Paramount, too. He got busted open in the forehead in basically the same area.
Aladdin now the legal participant. Nice airplane spin head scissors there. Takes Hades down.
Oh!
DDT. Hades with that height advantage, so Aladdin had to do it while Hades was on his knees.
Another DDT.
Now Aladdin going up top. Can he hit the 450 splash? Yes, he can. Impressive with that neck injury. Cover here to put Hades away, and Hades out of 2.
And Aladdin cannot believe it. I mean, that was really impressive, but it's going to take a little bit more than that to take him down.
Well, maybe he feels that Hercules can hit that one shot to put Hades away.
Just
Went for
soften
the
him up
Irish
for him.
whip, instead decides to hit a clothesline. And now is Herc going to the top?
I think so. Look out.
Big man gonna fly. Ushering Hades to his feet. What does Hercules have in mind? Flying shoulder tackle.
I mean, that's brutal enough as it is when you're on the floor, but doing it from the top rope like that? Oh, Hades suckered him in. I'm going to target Aladdin a little bit.
Sucker punch there to Aladdin. Now back on the attack here of Hercules. Oh, I think you might want to get out of there, Aladdin. Oh, no. It's
You've done
the
enough.
most overused move in all of fantasy wrestling entertainment.
Oh, but a shot from Hercules blindsided Hades.
Oh, I thought there was Hercules going for the neck breaker, but I think Hades might have actually hit it.
I mean, they were both thinking about it at the same time. Another drop kick.
Elbow to the lower back as well. Uh-oh. Jawbreaker by Hades. Oh, no. Looking maybe for the choke slam. Aladdin coming in to break it up, though.
Aladdin just getting back up to his feet in the nick of time.
Gotta say, very impressed here with Hades. Been able to stay in it despite being at a 2-on-1 disadvantage. Oh, wait a minute. Might be
This
going
could be
for
it.
another one. Choke slam
Oh.
connects.
Did you feel that?
The earth shook.
Forget the ring. That was the whole planet.
Oh, not another one. 3 choke slams to put Hercules away, and Hades wins the handicap match.
Here is your winner,
If you're Aladdin, you go back to the drawing board now. You brought in maybe the best person to take Hades on, and Hades turned him down.
It was in a handicap match too, so he was outnumbered the whole time, and he didn't care the way he was wrestling in this one.
Hades has been on quite a run here since before Paramount. His run may continue. Aladdin gonna have to figure out what he can do to take out the menace Hades. But up next, the 4 women that will be in the #1 contenders match for the Women's World Championship next week are in tag team action. It's Ivy and Widow versus Swan and Moana next.
If you think that any team chemistry can beat the bonds of sisterhood, think again. This FWE Women's Tag Team Division is going to learn what it feels like to fall to the greatest duo to hail from the halls of Arendelle. Ground game, bare-knuckle brawling, high-flying, technical prowess, you name it, we do it all. Bring on all challengers, we will always remain at the top of the tag team food chain. I'm Anna, and this is my sister Elsa, the best female duo in FWE competition. Send your best and we'll put them down. This is our division, and we are not letting it go.
Well, the women's tag team division in quite an interesting scenario as of late. As we saw last week, the current women's tag team champions eliminating Team Let It Go, Mystery Incorporated, and the Daughters of Thanos from competing for the tag team titles while they have them in their possession. It's kind of limiting the amount of tag teams that would be eligible to fight for the titles at this point in time.
I'm honestly not sure who even is eligible. I don't know what that list looks like right now. There have been so many teams that have been knocked out of contention by the current champs.
We're going to have tag team action here in this one. A lot of this stems from what occurred last week when Mulan, the current Women's World Champion, said basically there's nobody on her level, nobody worthy to fight her for the Women's World Championship of the Galaxy. We saw Elizabeth Swan, Poison Ivy, Black Widow, Moana all come out to ringside, make their cases for why they felt they should be in line. Our FWE Commissioner Woody announcing that next week, the go-home show to Foul Out, all 4 women will be in a #1 contenders match. The winner of that goes on to face Mulan for the Women's World title at the Fallout PLE.
But of course, a week before that, that being tonight, we're going to have to see if some of them can coexist with one another.
Representing the Dangerous Alliance from Moscow, Russia, the Spider Black.
Black Widow, a former hardcore champion, trying to get into the Women's World Championship picture. As a matter of fact, really for 3 of the women in this tag team matchup and in next week's Fatal 4-Way, they've yet to really be in the hunt for a Women's World Championship title match. Elizabeth Swan, the longest reigning Women's World Champion, the only one that has been anywhere close, really, to that title belt.
And representing the crew from Kingston, Jamaica, Elizabeth Turner.
162 days, Elizabeth Swan was the Women's World Champion of the Galaxy, going all the way back to Sugar Rush. Lost the title at Paramount in that 2 out of 3 tables match to Mulan. But her case is that in her title rematch, she ended up getting distracted by the entrance music of Jasmine. We saw her get that little level of revenge against Jasmine, but feels that she's owed a fair title rematch.
And I can definitely understand that perspective. You know, you think you get your title shot one-on-one, and then something like that happens, it can really mess you up. I can speak from experience, so it's a little bit difficult, but Elizabeth Swan definitely trying to sort of regain her traction here in FWE. It was just an absolutely dominant title reign for her while she was the world champion. I mean, she didn't have that high number of defenses when you think about it, but it was still like, because she was just turning back competitor after competitor in those open challenge matchups.
She'll get a chance to maybe be a two-time Women's World Champion by the time we get to Fallout if she can get through that #1 contenders match next week. Teaming up here with Moana, to your point here as well, enemies next week have to be friends, have to have alliances here tonight to get some momentum going into the go-home show next week.
Representing the Islanders from Honolulu, Hawaii, Montana.
And interesting, obviously all 4 of these women have compelling arguments, but I kind of feel like Moana has maybe the most compelling argument in the fact that she mentioned there was a matchup before Mulan fought for the title at Paramount where Moana picked up a pinfall victory over her. So honestly, I think Moana's got a case for herself here to have an opportunity at least to face off against Mulan for the Women's World Championship, but has the same opportunity as all the other 3 women here next week.
I do think it is a fair call, though, from our FWE Commissioner Woody to allow Moana to have this equal opportunity because, again, when you pin somebody who went on to become the champion, you kind of almost wonder what things would be like if the title was on the line.
Poison Ivy, Black Widow teaming up tonight against Elizabeth Swan and Moana. Opportunity here for 2 of these women to have some momentum going into that matchup next week. But again, allies tonight, enemies next week.
You call the 10 beats of the Bardra the most overused move in FWE. I feel like the spinning head scissors is up there as well.
Yeah, I think you're right. Interesting point of note here. When considering all 4 of these women and their tag team experience, obviously Poison Ivy, tag team partners with Harley Quinn over at Havoc. We saw Black Widow and Shuri be a very formidable tag team together as we were looking to determine who the #1 contenders were going to be for the women's tag team titles. Elizabeth Swan, we've seen her team with her partner Angelica Teach in the past, but oh wow, Moana, I'm not sure what she was going for there.
Miscalculation there.
In the case of Moana, we've not really seen her tag with anybody, maybe outside of Maui, going all the way back to the Fairly Odd Partners tournament.
Yeah, but that was a mixed match challenge, which we've only seen, that sort of thing one over time outside of that tournament. So not a whole lot of tag team experience for Moana.
Saw Moana and Black Widow facing off there for a brief moment. Of course, they've got a bit of a rivalry going on here for the past month. We saw Moana pick up a victory over Black Widow, albeit the referee, Ernest Wright, didn't see that Black Widow's foot was clearly on the ropes. Following week, Black Widow made Moana tap out to the Black Widow submission.
I feel like this matchup as a whole happening when it is happening, which is right now, of course, it's a test of the mental, if you will. You have to find out right now if these 4 women can coexist with one another in a certain sense before you have this matchup to determine the #1 contender next week. So you have to kind of make sure that nobody gets really injured as well, if you think about it too, because you want to be at 100% when you're competing for the opportunity to have that title chance.
Oh, wow. Big move there from Elizabeth Swan. Yeah, you bring up a great point there as we see 2 former hardcore champions going up against each other right here. Black Widow has held the title once. Elizabeth Swan has held that title twice, and maybe taking a little bit too much time showboating there for Elizabeth. Black Widow was able to get the tag right around Elizabeth Swan. Ivy now legal. And remember, for Poison Ivy had a great showing against Elizabeth Swan at the time that she held the Women's World Championship. First woman, as she pointed out, to ever kick out of Pirate's Plunge.
Yeah, I remember that moment very well. You and I were both in shock when that happened. Big kick by Poison Ivy to Moana.
For the most part, outside of the last couple of weeks, we really haven't seen what Poison Ivy is able to do inside the ring. For the most part, she's kind of been a bystander, an aid, if you will, to Harley Quinn when she held the Women's Hardcore Championship. Saw her kind of be there, involved in quite a number of those Gotham Rules matchups, including at Paramount. It's a nice tilt-a-whirl backbreaker here by Moana to put Poison Ivy away and kick out at 1. Little assistance from Black Widow, but now we're kind of getting an idea of what Poison Ivy brings to the table, a little, and I don't mean this as a pun, but a little green in terms of the experience inside of the ring as opposed to a number of these other women.
Definitely, and we'll see more what she has in store in terms of the singles game next week when they're in that fatal four-way.
Still to come later tonight. As a matter of fact, I believe I'm being told it's going to be our next matchup. The animosity between the former members of the family and the current members of said faction starts to reach a boiling point here tonight. Cole Eastwood takes on Michael Norman, one-on-one action. And we heard from our FWE commissioner earlier on tonight that the two factions there, the family and now the new duo known as the Rockers, comprised of Eastwood and McCurry, will be taking on each other in a backstage brawl, which, man, I'll tell you what, we've seen what these guys do when they're inside or outside of a wrestling ring. You're now giving them all sorts of options, all sorts of weaponry backstage.
I mean, good luck to them. You know, I understand, you know, maybe sometimes a rivalry like that warrants going into something like a Hell in a Cell or a Steel Cage or an Extreme Rules match like I've got at Fallout, but I feel like a backstage brawl might be a little bit much, especially when you're talking about a rivalry that's had as much heat and animosity as the one in the family.
Elizabeth Swan was going for a spear, got blocked, now hits the spear. Ivy to the outside. Yeah, I mean, at some point, something's got to give, though, right? I mean, you've tried everything. You've had them in a submission match there with Anthony and Michael. You've had run-ins. You've had pre- and post-match attacks. At some point, the fight's going to take place in an unusual environment. You might as well do it here with a sanctioned match, I guess, on a PLE. Finally, you know, find a bit of an exclamation point, a bit of a period on the end of this story.
I'm surprised that FWE was even willing to sanction that match in the first place. I guess Woody might feel the same way we do. We just want to see a conclusion come to that rivalry.
Black Widow on the outside. Referee's count is at 8, but oh, that might reset because Elizabeth Swan, went for the senton. And Black Widow able to move out of the way. That was a crash and burn for the former Women's World Champ.
Match just kind of turned on its head a little bit because I saw a little while ago, Black Widow tried to work her way back into the ring and Elizabeth Swan immediately dropped her back to the floor ringside. And now the cover in the corner.
Black Widow looking to put Elizabeth Swan away, and Elizabeth will kick out at 1.
But when all that was going on, we saw what happened there. The referee reached a count of 9. Elizabeth Swan didn't even have to leave the ring. She could have just won the match by count out. Instead, she decided to go for that swanton to the ringside floor and completely missed.
Referee Ernest Wright. This and the next matchup will be the last of his referee duties for the evening. In our main event, Jessica Shelton. Big lariat clothesline there from Poison Ivy, going to be the special guest referee. The former Women's Hardcore Champion going to referee the matchup between the current Hardcore Champion Wonder Woman and former champion Harley Quinn, as the Ivy Vine is locked in. No tap out there from Elizabeth Swan, but Black Widow disposes of Moana on the apron.
Everyone's got to get out of the ring.
Going for it again. Ivy Vine locked in. The submission is if Elizabeth Swan taps out, Moana's nowhere to be able to help. Oh, look at this.
Way out of it. Oh, look at the roll up.
Roll up here by Elizabeth Swan, and Ivy able to kick out. Big pump kick. Moana trying to maybe get in there to break this up, but not able to do it in time. Ivy got the victory.
Here are your winners.
We talked about the chemistry. Would it be there as all 4 of these women are going up against each other next week? Moana very slow to get to that breaking up the pinfall, and Ivy and Widow will have momentum going into that fatal 4-way.
I almost wonder, maybe that was something that was planned, maybe not. I'm not sure. That's definitely going to affect the mental side of things for some of these competitors going into that matchup next week.
I think it's safe to say we won't see Swan and Moana work together next week.
Definitely not. Well, coming up next, Cole Eastwood takes on Michael Norman. The animosity continues next on FWE.
You want to know how I got these scars? Not from wrestling, that's for sure. You see, because whenever I step inside of an FWE ring, I'm the one that's dealing out the punishment. And you know what? I love it. I sit backstage before my match just thinking of the many ways I can twist and torture my victims. That's the mindset of all of us in the Gotham inmates. Right, baby?
That's right, Puddin'.
So just remember that the next time you're standing across the ring from me, that although I may don an appearance of a man that borders on the insane, inside this head is a ticking time bomb of a brain, constantly calculating one move ahead of anything you can possibly imagine. So do yourself a favor, just stay out of our way. Otherwise, I won't be responsible for the consequences. FWE, welcome to your worst nightmare.
Well, the war continues between Anthony McCurry, Cole Eastwood, Michael Norman, and Matt McIntyre as we get ready for one-on-one action.
Making his way to the ring, accompanied by Anthony! Representing the Rockers from North Carolina, weighing in at 160 pounds, the Chosen One, Cole!
Well, we saw this newly formed faction here of Anthony McCurry and Cole Eastwood, now known as the Rockers, make their new tag team debut, I guess you could say, last week as they participated in that fatal four-way Tornado Eliminator tag team matchup to be the #1 contender. And then we ended up finding out that this group was a part of that matchup as well.
And his opponent, accompanied by Matt McIntyre, representing the family from Orlando, Florida, weighing in at 296 pounds, Michael Norton.
To your point, Seth, Cole Eastwood was the one who eliminated both of these guys from that matchup that you just mentioned, so a little bit more added to the heat behind this feud.
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe Michael Norman eliminated Anthony McCurry, so it was former family members and family members eliminating each other in that matchup.
This animosity certainly has reached a boiling point. It's going to reach a boiling point when we get to Fallout in Las Vegas, and these four all end up having that backstage brawl match. But for now, one-on-one action.
And remember, we ended up hearing our FWE Commissioner Woody allude to this. He's absolutely right. This was a matchup we were supposed to see about a week and a half before Paramount, but Anthony McCurry made his return and actually ended up stepping in as the substitute for Cole Eastwood in that matchup. So this is the first time that we're getting to see Cole and Michael one-on-one.
Being sent into the turnbuckle. Big uppercut, more big shots there from Cole. Or corner 619.
Also think about this as well. First time we see them in a one-on-one matchup in the history between these two when they were defending the tag team titles against the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So, we talk about the animosity between all four of these individuals. The animosity between Cole Eastwood and Michael Norman is an entirely different thing on its own.
Look at Cole, he's gonna fly. Look at him go in this match so far.
From the top turnbuckle, arm drag there to the outside.
And that tag team title saga that you mentioned was definitely one for the storybooks, as we saw Michael Norman take out Anthony McCurry, put him through our announce table in the build to Paramount, and then later forced his way into a tag team title defense alongside Cole Eastwood, and Cole was willing to walk out on Michael, and he was willing to give up the tag team titles. You see Ernest right there trying to tell Michael Norman get back out of the way, but Cole was willing to give up the tag team titles to sacrifice his place in the family and basically stand by his partner, Anthony McCurry.
Of course, as well, we documented both of these teams were unsuccessful last week in being the #1 contenders for the Men's Disney Tag Team titles. Says,
Oh,
wow,
man.
big right hands, and that last one just dropped Cole off the top turnbuckle to the outside.
Oh.
And Michael Norman with an elbow right in front of Anthony McCrory. We know that it's going to be at Fallout. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Leonardo and Donatello taking on the Mario Brothers for those belts. As a dominator on the outside there from Michael Norman to Cole Eastwood. And now look at that, just throwing Cole into Anthony.
Michael's going to take even more time to showboat. They've got to be aware of the count, though. And it's right to the count of 7.
7, oh man.
Oh! His knees or ankles or some parts of his lower legs hit the barricade on the way down.
Oh, Michael's in here at a count of 8. Referee's at a count of 9. I don't know if Cole knows where he's at. Can he get in there before the referee hits 10? Yes, he did, barely. I think Michael thinks he won the match.
Looking like he feels like he did. Oh, somebody got a steel chair in there.
Yeah, I
think
didn't
it
even
was
see
Matt
that.
McIntyre. Another little distraction there for our referee.
Oh!
Neck breaker by Cole.
Of course, as well, Matt McIntyre having to concentrate not only on teaming with Michael at Fallout in that backstage brawl, but then a couple weeks later, Saturday night at Springfield, he puts the United States Championship on the line against Ernie the Keebler Elf. We saw us cover is in here by Cole Eastwood on Michael Norman and kick out at 1, but we saw this this past Saturday on FWE Extra, Ernie the Elf getting a pinfall victory over Michael Norman.
Speaking of animosity.
Yeah, right?
You
Got
don't
a lot of
even
it here in FWE, it seems.
have to- Definitely. I mean, you don't even have to look at the 4 members involved in this feud right now. Just look at what's going on between Matt and Ernie. Look at what's gone on between them in the past.
Cole Eastwood with a nice airplane head scissors takedown on Michael Norman. We continue to draw closer to Fallout, continue to compile up that card. Tri-Wizard Championship on the line, Extreme Rules as Jack take on Dylan Young in that matchup. We just got announced earlier on tonight is, so look at this. Oh, referee Ernest right in the way. And I think Cole Eastwood may have just climbed right up Ernest Wright, who was trying to fix that turnbuckle pad.
It was a little bit chaotic there in the corner because, of course, Matt McIntyre ripping off the top turnbuckle pads. Oh, he was distracting Cole, or at least trying to.
Shot to the kidney there. Look out, Ernest.
Ernest, look out. I know it's your last match of the night, but you want to make it to the end.
Hurricane Rana there from Cole Eastwood. But we now understand it'll be a triple threat match between Harley Quinn, Jessica Shelton, and the current women's hardcore champion, Wonder Woman, at Fallout. Hardcore title on the line. We know at least 75% of the field that'll be fighting for the inaugural Cozy Cone Women's Cruiserweight Championship. Ellie, leg drop there from Cole. I'll hold the phone there on that, as here's the cover off that leg drop. Eastwood looking for 3 on Michael and only gets 2.
Man, he can't believe it.
Referee Ernest Wright was fixing that turnbuckle pad, so that might have taken a little bit of extra time for Cole, who now looks for maybe the blade cutter. That's gonna probably be it. Blade cutter, center of the ring. Eastwood looking to put Michael away, does so. Score 1 for the Rockers heading into Fallout.
Here is your winner, the Chosen One.
That blade cutter is honestly one of the filthiest finishing moves I've ever seen in a good way. That was sick from Cole Eastwood.
Eastwood with a victory over Michael Norman. Can they ride this momentum into Fallout in that backstage brawl? Up next, Jessica Shelton dons the stripes as she will referee Harley Quinn versus Wonder Woman.
Fallout, fallout in the air, breathing poison everywhere. Fallout, fallout, can't escape. We built a fire, now feel its weight.
Welcome back here to FWE. It's main event time as we will see all 3 of the women that we'll see at Fallout fighting for the Hardcore Championship in the ring tonight. And Jessica Shelton going to be the special guest referee.
The following contest is a special guest referee.
saw Jessica Shelton win the Women's Hardcore Championship on the biggest stage of them all. 20-minute Gotham Rules match, defeated Harley Quinn. Then 2 weeks later had to put the title on the line inside a steel cage against Wonder Woman, now the former Hardcore Champion. And the big question here is, she will take on both Wonder Woman and Harley Quinn at Fallout for the Women's Hardcore title. How impartial is Jessica Shelton going to be here tonight?
I mean, it remains to be seen. Obviously, I feel like the best strategy would just be to call it down the middle. Don't really go pick sides, do anything extra than you need to, because you're going to be facing both of these competitors anyway. But you never know. She might feel like doing something to frustrate them a little bit, or maybe get in their heads a little bit, something in the mental game like that.
You know what I would probably do if I were her? Do nothing. Let them beat the ever-living snot out of each other, so that way you're the only one going into that matchup at Fallout at 100%.
I mean, that's a fantastic point. You know, things like countouts, disqualifications, it's all up to her discretion.
Representing Havoc from New York, the Psycho Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn, former Hardcore Champion, won the title from Ariel, defended it successfully at Mortal Kombat. As we mentioned, lost it to Jessica Shelton at Paramount. Looking to get back into the Hardcore title picture. Of course, didn't get a rematch against Jessica Shelton after losing the title at Paramount. As we heard our announcement earlier on tonight from Woody, puts her into #1 contendership. So triple threat match for the Hardcore title when we get to our next PLE at Fallout.
Of course, Harley Quinn, the mastermind of the Gotham Rules match. That's what she was able to utilize to her advantage to win the Hardcore Championship in the first place before dropping it to our special guest referee, Jessica Shelton, in a Hardcore Rules match, a Gotham Rules match at Paramount.
Also the former two-time female fighting champion. If you guys haven't, go back and watch this past episode of FWE Extra. The 10-woman gauntlet match we had with that title on the line was absolutely incredible, as here comes Wonder Woman, two-time Hardcore champion, tying her now with Ariel and Elizabeth Swann, the only women to hold this title multiple times.
Yeah, that 10-woman gauntlet match we had on Extra last week was incredible. We almost saw Esmeralda run the table.
Shigo now the two-time female fighting champion, but to your point, yeah, I mean, incredible showing there by Esmeralda. And Wonder Woman, give her credit as well. She kind of called her shot back at Paramount. Said, hey, you can name the stipulation. Said that to Jessica Shelton at the time. You can name the stipulation, but I'm walking out as the new Women's Hardcore Champion. She made good on her word, and she'll be going into Fallout with that title belt around her waist. As I think maybe a snapmare there by Harley Quinn. Went for an early cover, and Jessica Shelton saying foot was underneath the ropes.
She did a good job. I could tell from my perspective her feet were indeed under the ropes.
Think of the history here that Jessica Shelton has with both of these two women. Is kick out at one there by Harley Quinn, then multiple Gotham Rules matches that she's been in with Harley Quinn, that steel cage match with Wonder Woman. Shelton's obviously got quite a playbook on both of these. Big powerbomb here by Wonder Woman. Both Quinn and Wonder Woman going for early covers, and Wonder Woman's going to get a 2 count.
Just calling it down the middle so far.
Big splash there from Wonder Woman.
Went for a stomp, and then Harley thought about going for a springboard attack, but that was interrupted by Wonder Woman.
Clothesline by Harley Quinn takes the Women's Hardcore Champion down to the mat. Again, we've been talking about this build up to Fallout, these matchups starting to be compiled as we get ready for our first PLE since the showcase of the Immortals at Paramount.
Oh my goodness, Harley's flying around in this matchup.
Big kick to the face there of Wonder Woman. And I almost wondered if we'd have a 10 count here by Jessica Shelton, if she'd let them battle on the outside, but as you can see, administering the 10 count here. Again, this is just a normal match. It will be hardcore rules when we get to Fallout, but right now it's just a normal one-on-one matchup, so countouts, disqualifications do count, which is kind of an unusual environment for these women in what they've been involved in the past month or so.
Absolutely. I mean, you're used to all the weapons, everything like that coming into play, but this match, they got to abide by the rules, or at least the rules that Jessica Shelton sets.
Clothesline by Harley Quinn, follows it up with another one. Blocks the stomp here and sweeps the leg. Harley Quinn fired up here in the Fantasy Dome. Going for the cover here on Wonder Woman. Try and gain a level of momentum going into Fallout, and a kick out at 2. And you can see the frustration there by the former women's hardcore champion.
Yeah, she's a little bit frustrated, but that was a really good pin count by
gosh.
Jess. Ooh.
Got clocked on the jaw. Scoop power slam there by Diana. Cover is in to put Harley Quinn away, and kick out at 1.
Almost feel like that could have been it right there. That was an impressive scoop slam.
Hoisting Harley up and just slamming her down to the mat. Might be going for it again here, just lifting Harley from a dead weight. The strength of Wonder Woman. Might have
With
been
a kick
thinking
to the head.
Yeah, I think she was thinking a third time, and Harley said, no.
Harley's still fighting back. Able to keep up from whatever that attack was.
Off of the ropes, and another slam there by Wonder Woman. Arguably one of the strongest women here on the FWE roster.
And in control so far in this matchup, but Harley's been able to get a reversal in a few times, so she's got to take advantage of one of those windows of opportunity that she gets.
Oh, might be looking for an overhead belly to belly. My gosh.
I don't know how she had the strength to pull that off. That was impressive. And a DDT too, going for the cover.
Forearm in the face as well, looking to pick up the victory, and Wonder Woman will slip out at 2.
Jessica counting this one down the middle so far.
Counter neck breaker there by Wonder Woman, trying to get back in command of this matchup. Drop kick to the lower back. Second one right against the ropes.
I was going to say maybe a miscalculation there, but I think she's still got some of it, not all of it, but she definitely got all of that clothesline.
Look at this, just from a dead weight, bench pressing Harley Quinn up into the air. The power game on display, and a massive landing to the mat by Harley Quinn. Big splash. Normally she goes for the cover there at that point, but might be setting up for something else. Oh man, she's gonna go up to the top rope. What is Wonder Woman looking for here?
Punishment.
Maybe that splash, which she won the title with in that steel cage a couple of weeks ago. And a kick out at 1.
Oh, how does Harley kick out at 1? But now she could be setting up for the Amazon bomb here.
Right on cue, goes behind, looks for the Amazon slam. Cover is in, that has got to be it. Shelton down for 2, and no! I thought her hand was coming down for 3, but Harley gets the right shoulder up.
Say what you want about this matchup, you can't blame the referee.
No,
That
she
was
has
a
called it
clean-
right down the middle, to her credit.
Yeah, that was a clean and consistent count by Jessica, and she still Harley got the shoulders up.
Slam misses, Harley got out of harm's way. And
Window
now
of opportunity.
up to the skies with the springboard moonsault, takes Wonder Woman down.
Sending her in the corner. A little bit of
Sends her
abuse
into
there
the
on that top
turnbuckle.
turnbuckle.
Uh-oh, what in the world are we looking for here? Tornado DDT! Cover here by Harley Quinn to put Wonder Woman away, and Wonder Woman with a kick out at 2.
I know Jess is calling this one down the middle so far, but I feel like there might be some frustration directed her way just for the fact that these three are competing for the title.
Harley up top, what's she looking for here? Massive kick right on the button.
Still looking to dish out more punishment.
Forearm spaghetti legs Wonder Woman. Now dragging her away from that bottom rope. Could be thinking about going for the cover here. No, instead, just a stomp to the lower back. Now an elbow to the chest.
You don't want to take too long because eventually Wonder Woman's going to find some strength and try to get back to her feet. There she goes. Probably had to abandon whatever that attack was off the top rope. Now.
Oh, no. We've seen this before. The strength and power just hoisting Harley Quinn up the suspended vertical suplex. Blood just rushing to the head of Harley Quinn. And could that be it? Cover here by Wonder Woman on Harley. Kick out at 1.
That's the first time where I'm kind of questioning the count there from Jessica. I think she was a little too slow there, checking the shoulders.
Oh, look at this. Samoan drop by Wonder Woman.
And I'll hoist her up again. This is a long drop if you're Harley Quinn.
Gut first into the mat. No protection whatsoever. And now try to just use the ropes to be able to get up to a vertical base. Oh my gosh!
I don't know how she's back on her feet. Something like that could have broken her ankle or something.
And she just hit a springboard moonsault immediately after that. I mean, there was nothing pretty about that move. She literally just got thrown into the ropes by Wonder Woman.
The longer this goes on, I mean, this is exactly what you want if you're Jessica right now, watching these two go at it, go to war like this. I mean, neither of them are going to be at 100%. This is going to be a perfect opportunity for Jessica, regardless of who wins this matchup tonight.
Now Harley Quinn trying to work on that hamstring there, try and maybe take away the vertical base, the power game for Wonder Woman. See Wonder Woman having to use the ropes there. That may have actually tightened up that hamstring quite a good bit. Drop kick to the lower back. Stomps in the corner by Harley Quinn. Wonder Woman in trouble here. Irish whipped in the corner once again.
I mean, at this point, I feel like it's less about winning the match and more about just dishing out as much punishment as you possibly can.
Oh, well, talk about punishment
Look
here.
at
A
that.
little insult to injury there by Harley Quinn. Not afraid to play dirty. Goes for the cover and just calling for a rope break there.
I don't know if her foot was under that rope, Seth.
It's hard to tell from this angle for sure. And Jess almost has the same view that we do with where she's standing.
She's the one that's looking at it inside the ring, so I mean...
She's also the one with the referee shirt, so our opinion doesn't matter at this
Exactly.
point. Is snap suplex there by Harley Quinn to put Wonder Woman away, and that's going to be enough to do it.
Well, back and forth we went in this matchup. Harley Quinn on
Here's
top.
your winner, the Psycho Harley Quinn.
Well, is there any way after the fight we just saw that either Harley Quinn or Wonder Woman are going to be at 100% when we get to Fallout? It seems unlikely, but big momentum for the former Women's Hardcore Champion. Thank you for joining us here tonight. We'll see you Saturday night for FWE Extra.